Chiefs Kingdom, ACU crew, we're back. Post-game reactions. Chiefs in Lambeau, they take an L, baby. 27-19. Steve, everybody was calling for a Chiefs blowout. Chiefs are scoring over 30. Wrong. I told everybody, are y'all ever going to stop giving them more credit than they deserve?
I don't think it matters at this point. It really does.
It
this
does.
was probably one of the ugliest, worst games, and I'm talking every aspect of it. Like, the defense was bad. They kept getting hurt. Just injury after injury after injury. The field was trash. The refs, trash. The offense, trash.
Come on. The refs wasn't as bad.
Come on.
The refs ain't that bad.
Yeah, they're not that bad. They only screwed you on both of your first two red zone drives.
It doesn't matter.
With BS penalties. Hold on. Shut up. Stop talking.
I'm not going to stop talking. You're blaming the refs, and the Chiefs did not do anything to deserve to win that game.
Well, let me preface this with the Chiefs suck ass. They're not good. They're really not.
Thanks. That's the number one.
And y'all can talk about why they're not good, but I will tell you exactly why. It falls solely on Brett Veach for refusing to get Patrick Holmes a weapon in the offseason and not doing it before the trade deadline. On top of that, Andy can't do anything with these guys, and they refuse to take MVS and Sky Moore off the field, even though they suck. And Patrick Mahomes hasn't looked like himself because of that. And on top of that, Mike, when your team is like this, you can't afford referees screwing every red zone drive you have. You can't have referees refusing to call blatant calls in critical parts of the game. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. I'm not giving the Chiefs a bailout here saying the refs caused them to lose, because they suck and they deserve to lose the game. But the refs helped big time at the end.
Maybe so. They missed the PI. Okay, but look, Mahomes got hit inbounds and they give us the 15 there. Was that a makeup call? Probably.
Well, they would call that on anybody. That's one thing I didn't like about the announcers, is they're like, "Oh, that's not."
Well, I agree. I thought he was giving himself up and going out
of bounds. That's the point. It doesn't matter.
But look, he's still inbounds, and he's trying to get a first down. And I agree. Is the defense just supposed to let you just walk for a first down? Like, let's play some football. For Christ's sakes, I get it's Mahomes. I want to see him hurt.
I don't care,
but do it. And then to just blame the officiating. Look, that was bad. That was a bad call, no call on MVS for sure. But dude, you can't put this one on the officials. The Chiefs didn't play good from the get go. The defense was bad again.
But two things can be true at once.
Okay, but the defense was bad from the beginning. The offense still is not putting up points. Our tackles are still a liability. I don't care what you think. They're holding in bad situations. The Chiefs are beating the Chiefs. Mental errors. They are undisciplined. This is on the coaching staff. This is on Andy Reid. This team looks bad. They did not deserve to win. They just didn't deserve to win. It's as simple as that. The Packers handed us our ass that entire game.
It was exactly like every other primetime game we watched the Chiefs play.
Right. I'm glad we don't have any more.
A mediocre to bad quarterback coming out and playing like they're Dan Marino, like spot on, 100%, like playing out of their minds, out of their gourds the entire game. And then you have just dumb mistakes by the Chiefs over and over again, stagnant offense. And Mike, I know that you don't want to say anything about the refs, but I'm just going to. First of all,
I just don't think it. I just think it's a non-factor. The Chiefs didn't deserve to win that.
Yes and no. Like, did the Chiefs deserve to win the game? No, they suck. But would they have won? Probably, because the first time we were in the red zone, they called that BS OPI on Travis Kelce, which was a joke, and then they called the hold on Creed, which was an absolute joke. That wasn't even close to a hold. And then you get to the end of the game, and they're like, "Hey, you know what? We're not going to call anything, Green Bay. Go out there and just beat the crap out of the receivers, and we'll swallow it."
Well, they're not calling that in the end zone at the end. They're not doing it. I didn't see nothing wrong with the play, to be honest.
You didn't see nothing wrong with pushing Kelce in the back?
It was the ball wasn't even. It was overthrown for Kelce. Kelce ain't getting to that.
If he wasn't pushed 5 yards forward,
calling it,
he would have had a
just
chance.
Not calling that.
I get that, but they have to call the one on MVS. Have to. That's a joke.
Yeah, I agree. They should have, but still.
Now, do I think the Chiefs would have got into the end zone or scored a 2-point conversion? No. But you have to call that. Absolute freaking joke. I'm telling you, these refs are going to be absolutely spotlighted all week. They're going to have to be. There's no way people are not going to pay attention to this.
No, they're not. If the Chiefs would have won, they would have been spotlighted saying they helped the Chiefs. The fact that it all went against
that narrative's over now. I think all those idiots that have been saying that, they can go ahead and shut up.
The only thing they will show for the rest of the week is Patrick Mahomes getting hit inbounds and them not calling that. That's all you're going to see. You won't see the MVS penalty. You won't see it.
All right, buddy.
I'm not defending the refs. I'm not defending anybody. I'm just saying the Chiefs stunk.
They do.
And
We're agreeing with you.
I'm tired of blaming officials here, officials there, blah, blah, blah. It's on the Chiefs at some point. Come on. You know it's going to get called like this. Go out there and put your foot on their throat.
It's been on the Chiefs all year.
So go out there and beat somebody's ass. Quit letting it be so close that the officials get to make their calls.
I'll agree with that 100%.
Okay, then. So everybody can chill. Everybody can shut it and suck it and chill. The Chiefs have got to be better. Let's just hold ourselves accountable. I don't care.
Well, let's just not talk about the blatant stuff just because the Chiefs suck too.
It doesn't matter, dude. What it is. I get it. It's blatant. But you're just pandering right now because people want to blame the officials.
I'm not pandering. I'm just telling the truth. I mean, the Chiefs suck. Yes, that's true. And something else is true. The referees did not want the Chiefs to win this game. They wanted it to be close, and they want. I'm telling you.
Did the officials call all the bad, cute plays that the Chiefs called in the red zone? Did the officials force
the plays that worked? Did they call back for?
Did they enforce Jawan Taylor to hold all the time? Did they enforce?
Did they care? Did they
care problem that Donovan Smith sucks?
Did they care that the replay they kept showing over again of that critical third down throw from Jordan Love, that there was illegal hands to the face right there in front of them? Did they care that George Karlaftis got blatantly tackled on another play where they got a third down?
Who cares if it's hands to the face? What about our DBs allowing the duck to just fall right in and not a single person has any ball awareness? Like, put some blame on the Chiefs, man. They did not play. They were uninspired. They're badly coached. This is just a bad team. I don't care what you say. I'm not disagreeing with that. It's just a bad team.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
And frankly, they're not even bad, but I don't think they're a Super Bowl team right now.
Absolutely not. This team that you watched tonight, there ain't no way in hell. Could you imagine what San Francisco would do to them? They would embarrass them. Like, they might put up the 70 like the Dolphins did on the Broncos.
Godly Warrior, Donovan Smith did play. He played a bunch. He got taken out for his neck injury, but he stunk when he was in there.
Yeah, who even cares? So, yeah. Like, I really don't think Wanye is a drop off there.
No, I don't either. But look, I'll say this: it doesn't matter. I think the Packers beat us from front to back. The Chiefs never were really. Honestly, the Chiefs just got outclassed. I don't know how, but they did by a younger team. Look, we told them what was going to happen. They're going to come out. They're going to run the ball, and guess what? We couldn't stop the run. We couldn't
Bye,
get
Jack.
physical.
See you later, buddy. You have fun.
Who?
We're going to cry about it. Man.
What's Jack crying about? What are you unsubscribing for?
I don't know. He's going to go jack his cocks. He don't have time to watch football stuff.
I don't get it. This guy's saying the officials. I'm saying it's not the officials. We're giving you both sides of the equation here, buddy. Like, what do you want?
He's not happy, okay?
Okay, Jack, go have a good night. Nobody cares. The point is this. We showed everything, all the struggles we've had throughout the year. The Chiefs displayed them tonight. They can't convert in the red zone. They have no go-to wide receivers still. They still have no clue how to get Rashee Rice in a game. They have no answer for this double and triple team in Travis Kelce. The defense is very much struggling. When Drew Tranquill went out, that defense struggled. I thought Jack Cochran did a pretty good job on short preparation to get in there and run the green dot and do okay. But look, the injuries were big. Losing Brian Cook there, he probably broke his ankle. He's done. That field was trash.
Yeah, what's up with that? Like, have they not changed that field since Lambeau started? Like, is it the same grass?
That must have been Super Bowl one. Yeah, that was the grass that was there for Super Bowl one.
Good God Almighty!
But I'm just saying, look, the Chiefs just play bad the whole game. They just the same struggles we've seen all year. They're just not fixing them. They're not fixing it, and this is on the coaching staff. It's on, like you said, it's on Brett Veach from the beginning to not fixing
100%.
the wide receiver problem. And it's just, you're going to get games like this. And if a team like the Packers can get you in Lambeau and dominate you the entire time pretty much, I mean, come on. This team is not ready. I don't know. Like, I have a hard time saying that this team, like, people are making fun because we're like, we just got to get in the playoffs. We've now went, like, we're nowhere near the top seed. I know we're only a one game down, but look, tomorrow night, another team's going to win and we're going to keep falling. And who knows? I don't know.
If the Chiefs can get beat by the Green Bay Packers, they can get beat by the Bills. They can get beat by anybody left on the schedule.
1,000%. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you can get beat by Jordan Love and the Packers, you're not guaranteed to win any game on this schedule. And I've been saying that since the beginning. When you struggled against the Jets, when you struggled in all these stupid games against these mediocre quarterbacks. And by the way, Jordan Love and the Chiefs defense allowed Jordan Love outplayed Patrick Mahomes tonight. Jordan Love was 25 for 36, 267, and 3 touchdowns, no picks. Mahomes was 21 for 33, 210, a touchdown and a pick.
I'll tell you the biggest difference right there. drafting Sky Moore and them drafting Christian Watson
Okay, well,
and
maybe
Romeo
so.
Dobbs.
And by the way, that pass he threw to Sky Moore was ridiculous. Like he should have never threw that. It made
He
no
ran the
sense
wrong
to
route.
throw that.
They should have
No,
been
he
throwing
didn't.
the
He didn't
ball
run the
there
wrong
anyway.
route.
It looked like it.
No, he didn't. He did stutter. That was just designed, and the DB knew the route better. The DB already knew what the route was.
Well,
And-
MVS did run the wrong. Like he kind of went in instead of out and missed on a big play.
Yeah, you can't run at the safety there. He's got to know to cut that to
Yeah.
the sideline. Mahomes was whatever. But I'll say this, dude. It's just the same problems. We didn't see Kadarius Toney again, hardly. Just all these little tricky things in the backfield. He gets us a penalty because he don't get set. It's just a bunch of mental errors across the board, man. That's all it is. It's mental errors. This team's just not talented enough at the receiver position. Look, Rashee Rice really is the only guy we got. Did they even target Justin Watson tonight? Like, he may as well not even been out there. So they didn't target Justin Watson. They didn't target Kadarius Toney. That's what I'm saying. They're just playing with Kelsey and Rice, and that's it. That's all they're doing. And look, I'll give them credit for running Pacheco tonight.
Well, why can't
But it
Rashee
wasn't
Rice?
enough.
How come Rashee Rice can't be on the field for 2 plays in a row? Like who?
No.
I don't
Is he
understand that.
gassed?
I don't know. I will tell you this, man. This team absolutely 100% stinks right now. They're just not good. Like they haven't looked good. If you want to say the back half of the Raiders game looked good, cool. If that's what your bragging right is you were
Right.
good in the second half of the Raiders game, bro, man, this team is not where they need to be. And I think it starts back from the offseason. I think it starts with Brett Veach and trickles down. And a lot of people saying Patrick Mahomes don't look good this year. And I agree. I don't think he looks good this year either. But I really don't think it's his fault. I think they gave him a bunch of turds to polish and he can't do it. And he's not going to look good.
Everybody in Chiefs Kingdom told him that this is what he needed to do.
Right.
And
Well,
now
yeah.
everybody's crucifying him for it.
Exactly. They want to talk about how
Everybody
you can make the
wanted
water
to be
boy
cheap
good.
all off season.
Right.
Exactly.
This is what you get. This is what you
we
get. Yeah.
Look, people's been saying it. You got to do it. But Tom, what is the you guys are overreacting stuff?
Tom
What do
McQueen.
you mean?
No, we're not overreacting. If you're
Tom.
this far into the season and you think this team is gonna
But
just
what
stop.
are you overreacting about?
There's no overreacting.
Me and
It's
this
just-
dude's not even been on the same page this entire thing, which means one of us is not overreacting at least.
No, we
But
are on the same page. This team is not good. Like they're not good. They can't beat
this
even
team,
bad teams.
This team is a
Yikes, bro.
right. This team is a very this is a shell of their Super Bowl teams of years past. They really are. I don't think it's any question. If you think that this team is good enough to win a Super Bowl as it sits right now, I think you're crazy. You're seeing we can't get Nick Bolton back fast enough. That Drew Tranquil injury hurt. The Brian Cook injury hurt. Look, Chris Jones was pretty non-existent that entire game. We didn't have any pressure on Jordan Love that whole game.
I don't know. I thought we started getting pretty good pressure on him.
Yeah, towards the end when Spags adjusted some stuff and they started getting tired of running it down our throat, I guess.
Right.
So much.
But
and they
you know,
started
as
going to
bad as the
passing
defense
game.
was all night, though, I still think the offense was probably to blame on this loss.
The offense has always been to blame
They're
every
just-
week.
They're just so bad. They're so bad.
Yeah, the offense is just not. It's just they're not finding it. They can't figure it out. The coaching staff can't put them in the right spots. They can't. They're just not using any players correctly. Again, did you see one play to Sky Moore that you seen last week that worked? You've
No.
seen a couple of those quick
And you know
passes
what?
to
I don't
Rashee
even
Rice.
I don't even want to give them those chances anymore.
Well,
I think
yeah, he might not deserve them.
just go ahead and get them off the field. Get
But I'm just
MVS
saying,
off the field.
Rashee Rice got it a few times, and those were the best plays we had. Like, you're just not putting them in the right spots. You're just not doing it. And this is, I don't know. It's on the staff. I hate to just be so critical of Andy and his staff, but they're just not hitting this year, man. They're not figuring it
This
out.
doesn't look like an Andy Reid team. I don't feel like Andy has any control over the team right now. Like
No, that's what I'm saying.
Andy
It
Reid
just
teams
looks
don't go
horrible.
out there and do dumb stuff, like get all those penalties. I mean, even Pacheco, God love him, and I wish he would have hit the guy square in the nose. You can't be out there throwing punches at the end of the game.
Dude, you can't throw punches, but I
Right.
thought that dude on top of him being very unnecessary and extra should have also got flagged.
Definitely needed
That was
needed to
nothing
be
more
hit.
than him trying to get
right.
under Pacheco's skin, and Pacheco obliged. But I'll say this: you didn't need Pacheco in the final minute. Like, you're not going to dunk it down to a running back and dunk.
Oh no,
it
they
all
sure
day
tried
long,
at the beginning of the drive there. They had all that time left,
Yeah.
no timeouts. Let's dunk one to Pacheco.
But look, I'm going to tell you this: the Chiefs I just felt like we were beat tonight. Like we did. This was another game on primetime where we looked uninspired. They didn't come out to play. They played flat. The offense still can't score. You got the same, like we've watched this same game over and over and over now. And usually we'll find one or two plays that can win the game when it counts. And we're just not finding those this year. You're not finding it.
Yeah. Hey, Tom, no one has to knock us out of the 1 seed. We're not the 1 seed. Baltimore and Miami both have that over us right now. So there's no knocking them out. They've been knocked out. Like,
we're done.
They're going to have to win out and hope the other teams lose at this point. No longer in the driver's seat.
And if you look at our schedule, I mean, honestly, we don't play the greatest schedule in the world, but the way this
but they're going to lose to Buffalo. There's no way they're beating Buffalo. The Patriots, I said that there's no way they could lose the Patriots after I watched the game tonight. There's a possibility.
Especially with the Patriots playing the Chargers within 6. Are the Chargers just that bad?
I still think the Patriots game is a win. The Chiefs-Raiders game, don't know. That's a coin toss. Chiefs-Bengals game should be a win. Who knows? And then the Chargers, which will be a coin toss. So, I mean, there's a possibility they could lose 3 more games out of the last 5.
Dude, the way they're playing, you can't go into any game right now and say that you think that the Chiefs are the clear-cut, 14-point favorite. It's not going to happen. I'm tired of you guys saying every week it's a blowout. It's 30-10. It's 42-12. You guys are out of your mind.
Stop all your optimism.
Yeah, you're out of your mind. Just quit.
It's time to be real. It's time to get the reality.
Lost that optimism back when I told you all to put it out the door versus the Jets.
Right.
Like, I just don't get it.
Isn't it amazing, though, how, like, it's wild how, like, I know the Chiefs kind of bring it on themselves because they play uninspired and they play kind of crappy. But it is wild to me that every time someone plays the Chiefs, they play out of their freaking mind, bro.
That's just what happens when you get
Isn't that wild?
People want to knock off the best. Dude, we've
crazy,
watched that growing up our entire lives being in Kentucky and watching people play Kentucky basketball.
Yeah.
During the Patino years, during the early Cal years. There. It's every game is everybody's championship. And now that the Chiefs are these guys, they're on the top and everybody's giving them their best shot. And the Chiefs are horrible at responding. We play down to our opponents over and over and over, and that's on the coaching staff. It really is. It's on the coaching staff. I think that this year has kind of been a waste of Mahomes' prime.
Absolutely.
It's sad to say, but I think it is. And
Kelsey, you're wasting one of his last year.
I don't see how anybody could be confident right now as we sit after watching this game. I don't see how anybody can be confident. Now, I don't think that we're completely out of a Super Bowl run. I don't, because I don't think there's that many great
Do you
teams
feel
out
good
there.
about that?
Right. If you watch the way that the 49ers pounced the Eagles today, and then you think that we're going to line up and beat that team, I mean, any given Sunday, I get it, but
couldn't even beat the Eagles.
Yeah, it don't make you feel right in the belly.
In the plums.
In the plums, you don't feel right. But look, I'm tired of focusing on the negative. Let's focus on a positive. I thought
Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, I thought Pacheco had a good game. He had 18 carries, 110 yards, and a touchdown.
I think that's where it stops.
That's pretty much where it stops.
That's it.
Well, Rashee Rice had another good game. He had 9 targets, 8 catches, 64 yards. He could have had a touchdown, by the way. And the Chiefs tried to be cute and do that stupid shovel pass inside. Rashee Rice was in the end zone if Mahomes just throws him the ball there to the pylon. And, of course, we had to do something cute.
They would have called holding or something, probably.
Why is it that our coaching staff has to be so much trickery here and there? Like, the one thing that worked was us just smashing Green Bay in the mouth, running it down their throat. And then when it counted, what did we do? That stupid little cute predetermined throw to Sky Moore, trying to launch it deep to MVS there with MVS totally
at that
runs the
point
wrong
they should have still been running the ball. It
Yeah,
was
they needed
weird
to be
that they
running
went
it.
away from that, but that's what Andy does. He never commits to it at that point in the game. So that wasn't like a surprise to me. So, I mean, I'm not even going by that. Like, I feel like that's a given. But man, it was just
the Chiefs
poor execution all around.
They needed to have kept relying on the run. I think Pacheco had 18 carries. Pacheco needed 25, 30 carries tonight, and I think you beat this team. I really do. It would have helped.
Honestly, I don't know.
It would have helped if our defense could have got them off the field. I thought our defense played horrible on third down.
That was the killer. It was, but so there's a few things here, right? Like I mentioned earlier, the D-line. We lost in the trenches tonight. And were there reasons for that other than we just got beat? Yeah, there were. You can go back and watch it. Playing with a huge disadvantage most of the time. But either way, man, that's where it starts. I mean, the defense couldn't get off the field. Everybody's just getting hurt. I mean, Tranquil with the concussion. Brian Cook's done for the season. His foot was backwards. He's wearing it backwards. He's going to be out for the season.
Yeah,
which means Chamari Connor's going to have to step in and play a big role now. You got
and he got burnt when he come in. He got burnt once.
Well, he's going to. He hasn't played all year. You know,
dude. Well, look. I thought the game was going to be close. I told you I thought it was going to come down to a single possession. You're going to have to make the play.
I honestly thought the Chiefs would score first and be in control of this one, and that is not. They kind of just flipped the script.
It was the exact opposite.
You're right.
At the end of the game, the Chiefs had 25 first downs. Green Bay had 24. Their third down efficiency was 5 out of 10. Ours was 7 out of 11. Total yards, they had 382. We had 337. We ran almost the exact same plays. They had 50, 60 more passing yards. We had a few more rushing yards. We had like 20 or 30. Everything that we said we need to do to win the game, the Chiefs kind of did it. They ran the ball. They did certain things. And the one thing that they didn't do was win the turnover battle. Mahomes throwing that stupid interception over the top of Sky Moore. Like, why did you – that looked so predetermined, and it just wasn't needed. So that one turnover may have cost us that entire game. Because if the Chiefs would have kept driving right there, I think we're fine.
So I know there's a lot of people like Jayham here in the chat. It's like, oh, the sky's not falling. They just didn't play well tonight. Well, that's also what you said when they lost the other 3 games. And the fact that you're sitting at what are they, 8-4?
The Chiefs are now 8-4. Yeah,
that's not where you would need to be at right now.
That was in a loaded AFC.
4 very poor, terrible losses right there. That you should have won every one of those games. So, yeah, sky's falling. We're not really going that route, but I mean, this is not a good team. It's okay to admit that.
Yeah, I think you can admit that the team's not as good as in years past. And
no, like you said earlier, Mike, they're a shell of like a championship team, right? Like they're not the same. And if you think they're the same, then God help your soul, because you're delusional. It's just they're not the same. It's obvious.
Look, the Chiefs just shot themselves in the foot in the red zone. They were 2 out of 4 in the red zone. The Pack was 3 out of 4, and guess what? They won by a touchdown.
Oh yeah, well I told you why.
But the penalties, though, look, penalties. We had 5 penalties for 50 yards. They had 7 for 63. They were actually flagged more. I get it. Ours were at opportune times.
Exactly, and the no calls were worse than the calls.
Yeah, look, I get that too, but I honestly think that I don't see how they didn't call that pass interference there at the end. That was blatant.
That's just blatant. You don't want this game to go.
Needs to be investigated. No, 100%. I don't feel like it was like they didn't want the Chiefs to win, but I felt like
there's no way.
That was a complete makeup call on that Mahomes hit, I believe.
There's no way that all those eyes from those referees saw that, and none of them threw a flag. They knew
they were told not to. I think they were told not to. I honestly think that when they called
the refs
Mahomes,
didn't have anything to do with it. I see.
What do you mean they didn't have nothing to do with it?
You said that.
I'm not going to say that the Chiefs lost this game solely because of the officials. I'm not doing that. This is not a game.
I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
Okay, well they can have something to do with it, but I'm not saying that the officials are the 1,000%
I'm just saying if the officials
lost.
did their job tonight, the Chiefs probably maybe still could have won the game. But since they didn't, it was just. It was over. It was over before the last few drives, right?
Dude, the Chiefs just didn't look. They didn't deserve it. If they call that penalty, and I get it, it was 1,000% a penalty, and the Chiefs would have won that game, we would have never heard the end of it. Chiefs always get the calls. Chiefs at the end. It's never going to happen. I wish the Chiefs would just dominate somebody. Can they just go out and beat somebody?
Right. Ookla, yes, they're going to win the West. That's the only. I mean,
the West, I don't think is in question.
No.
The biggest thing would probably be being able to secure that number 1 seed. We're going to need some help. You're going to need Baltimore to fall off.
Yeah.
You're going to need.
At this point, Mike, I think it's like a 50-50 coin flip. What happens with the 1 seed? It sucks because you were in the driver's seat. I feel like if they win this game against Green Bay, even if they drop one to Buffalo and then went out, I feel like they were still the 1 seed. But they just handed that away. Now they're rolling dice.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what. I've said before that Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, if they get a bye, I'll take the chances of them running 3 games any day. And winning another Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Like the odds are good there. But with the way this team is played, with all the injuries that have come up, and how bad the offense is, they're not adjusting, they're not getting any better. And the defense is actually starting to slow down because they're getting beat to death. They're always on the field.
Right.
I don't think adding a 4th game to that your chances go way down.
I think so too.
Way down.
Look, if you look at the playoff picture right now, the Dolphins are now the number 1 seed. They got a tiebreaker over the Ravens, who, by the way, are in number 2. They're both at 9-3.
Right.
The Ravens are going to win the NFC North. That one's over with. I think the Steelers have crapped the bed today. Burrow's out. I don't know if Flacco's going to be enough to get the Browns going anywhere. I mean, they could maybe slick in at a wild card, but I don't see them winning the division.
Right.
The Chiefs are now 8-4. Okay, look, we do have a tiebreaker over the Jags and the Dolphins. That could be important late in the game or late in the season. I just don't know. The Jaguars are 8-3, and they're going to play the Bengals tomorrow. That's going to be a win. But
right.
We should probably help the Bengals win. We need to be Bengals fans tomorrow. The Steelers, they probably have knocked their season out. I just think they might be done. The Browns, the Colts got a big win today. I don't know, man. The Texans are 7-5. The Broncos are still 6-6. Good Lord, the Bills might end up sneaking back in this thing, especially if we don't beat them.
Canijo wants to point out that you do realize Pacheco's not going to be playing next week. Good chance that he gets suspended. And if he does, then we're playing the Bills without Pacheco, which how do you think that's going to turn out for you?
If there's a chance to suspend them, the NFL will be all over it this week.
Of course.
They want the Bills. Look, the NFL, don't get me, the NFL does not, as much as you hear it, the NFL does not love the Chiefs.
They're not a fan of the Chiefs being, they're not.
We've said this for years. They don't like it, but they have to deal with it. And look, the Chiefs are playing right into their hands this year. Like, they're giving us a lot of primetime games. You know, they started picking on us from week 1. It's almost like they turned the sentiment on everybody. They were like, we're going to make the Chiefs the villains this year, and they've done a pretty good job of it. And then the Chiefs are actually helping them. So, look, the Chiefs just got to get better, man. It's all on the Chiefs. You can't play every game so close that these officials can do this to you. You just can't do it. If our defense was better tonight,
I think it's apparent that they're going to do it to you. So now you know 100% you cannot have a close game. The Chiefs cannot have a close game.
We've been saying this.
Yeah, you can't.
So look, Drew Tranquil is now possibly going to miss this coming up week. That was a pretty bad hit, man. It's tough to go head first into somebody's thighs that has those tree trunks that he's got working with. He didn't look like he had much of a groin injury, did he?
Not at all. They were lying about a lot of stuff. I mean, you have to think, though, like, as bad as our offense was, Alexander wasn't even playing. Think about that. They were making his backup look like a Pro Bowler.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, our offense is just
stinks.
We finally give Mahomes a defense, and
very
we just
one-dimensional.
let him down.
We're very one-dimensional. If Isaiah Pacheco don't beat you, we're not beating you.
And it's not enough because Pacheco done enough today that we should have hit some of those open stuff, and MVS was running wrong routes. We can't get any wide receivers open. Kelsey can't get out of a double team anymore. Look, I think you're starting to see Kelsey's age a little bit because of the double and triple team. He's just not being able to beat that anymore.
No, I mean,
so it's being very effective, and it's being
Well, I think this week is a week when the Chiefs really have to take a hard look in the mirror, and I'm talking Andy Reid. A lot of people want to blame Matt Nagy or whoever. They try to find some scapegoat for this.
Nagy is not calling plays.
They try to find some scapegoat for this, and I'll tell you straight up what it is Andy. It could be some of Andy's fault because as well, but Brett Veach has put Andy and the Chiefs in a very bad situation and left them there. Didn't even try to correct it at the trade deadline. So now Andy has to look in the mirror and be like, look, enough Sky Moore, enough MVS. Get them off the field. Give the other guys opportunities.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. Put them out there. They got to do better. I mean, Richie James, I think, could start looking to be like a valuable part of the offense. I think a couple times tonight he looked pretty good, and I think there was another Mike. There was another call. Dude, it was nonstop all night. And that's what I was saying, dude.
That was still a tough one though, because you couldn't really
I don't care how tough that is.
Did
you watch the replay? Did you watch the replay?
I couldn't determine if they just tripped or what.
No, there's a second defender hit him in his route, 20 yards up the field. I mean, it just is what it is. We're not going to do anything for the Chiefs tonight except for make them lose.
I'm with you. It's on Andy because, again, they're not putting people in the right positions.
No, and it sucks because our defense has been so good, and you're watching them deteriorate.
So look,
because our offense has sucked so bad for so long, you're watching a good defense deteriorate.
Pull MVS and pull Sky Moore, and your solution is what?
I would say Rashee Rice has got to be on the field 80% of the snaps. I don't care what you're doing.
We've
You're
all been
dumb if
saying
it's
this
not.
since week
Right.
4, and they're not doing it.
I think you're going to have to put Richie James in the slot and use him a lot. Kadarius Toney, get your whatever ass out there. I don't care if you're hurt or your pinky toe hurts or what it is. If that time of the month, I don't know what it is, Kadarius, but you have to get on the field. So you have to go out there and you have to play. Sorry, buddy. And we'll see how that goes. If he can't perform, yank him out. I mean, there were 15 wide receivers at the beginning of the year. This wasn't a thing. So what are we doing? Why are we watching? Why are we beating our heads in the wall? Just doing the same thing over and over
I
again.
just find it funny that everybody bought into the BS we were being fed all offseason about Kadarius Toney's our number one. This dude don't even have 200
right, or we didn't
yards.
need D-Hop. Can you imagine?
It's December 3rd, and our number
Wow,
one wide receiver don't even have 200 receiving yards, by the way.
Yeah.
Good call on that one. This is what I'll say. I think that they've backed themselves into enough of a hole that I don't know if you even come out doing what you just said. You can bench MVS and Sky Moore all you want.
Bench him.
Next
Does
guy
it matter?
up, next guy up. No, it don't, because I'm going to say next guy up. They're still not in the right positions. They're still not going to be in the right positions to do it, and the Chiefs won't play to nobody's strengths.
Okay, but I'd rather watch those guys screw up than the guys that's been on the field.
I'm 100% fine with it. Not
and they have to
arguing
start
with you.
using Noah Gray
I'm
more
just
too.
saying that when you put the next guy up, the coaching staff's not putting anyone in position to succeed, so you're going to get more of the same.
Right.
You're just getting more of the same.
Man, I just have to. And then what? Okay, the whole blame Matt Nagy thing is so played out. Like, if you're still trying to say Matt Nagy's the reason for any of this, you are so far out in left field. Matt Nagy has nothing to do with how bad this team is. I mean, he plays a part just like everybody else, but at the same time, like, Matt Nagy didn't ask Brett Veach to refuse to get Patrick Mahomes a competent receiver. He didn't. He didn't tell Andy Reid to call 100% of the offensive plays, but he does.
Right.
Why are we talking about Matt Nagy? It's wild. Like, let's focus on the stuff that actually is a problem. Like, I think like having scapegoats like that just kind of, are you just looking for excuses? Like, hoping it's just Matt Nagy and the team don't suck as bad as they do? I don't know.
Everybody's just wanting to blame Nagy because, well, we looked okay last year with Bieniemy. It was a fluke. And by the way, I just feel like they got the guys in better positions last year. Yeah, Juju was a big reason.
Huge.
And nobody wants to admit it, but he was a big reason that offense went.
Huge.
This is why me and this guy wanted him last year. We thought that he was going to change the offense for the better once you lost Tyreek Hill, and he did. But then when you give up on him and you're like, nope, we're going to give it to Sky Moore, we're giving it to MVS, Kadarius Toney's our number one. Look, the Chiefs looked at us, and they tried to tell us it's a Big Mac, and they give us a piece of crap on a sandwich. Like they give us a crap on a bun, and they tried to sell it, and everybody, 99% of Chiefs Kingdom bought in hook, line, and sinker, and told us you didn't need nobody. It is what it is.
Godly Warrior says Juju's washed, but I tell you what, washed Juju is way better than what we have.
Washed or not, he looked good last year.
Yeah,
I mean, he might be washed this year,
even
but
if he is, still better.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. You're telling me if Juju would have been on this team this year, he wouldn't have been our number one receiver already? He'd have already, right.
Yeah. Okay, Sooners. Justin Ross is out there getting in trouble. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know if he's got to be reinstated.
Yeah, I don't know.
They've not even reinstated him. So,
I mean, if you were Roger Goodell and, like you said, might not be a big fan of the Chiefs being the big face of the league because they're small market and it's whatever. And you're watching these wide receiver struggles, wouldn't you just kind of sit there and do the evil laugh and not release Justin Ross?
Yeah, they ain't going to help us. What are you talking about? They ain't going to help us. But look, I think if you look at this game, I don't think by any means the Packers are a bad team, but I don't think they're a good team.
They are not as good as we made them look.
No, the Packers are dead.
They don't even have their. They didn't have their number one running back. They didn't have their number one cornerback, and we still made them look like Super Bowl contenders.
So look, they're not that great, but they dominated us tonight. They really did. They beat us front to back, and honestly,
it was bad.
Stink. So
it was bad.
I don't know. The sky's not falling by any means, but
no. But I will tell you this, Mike.
But you can see what we've needed this whole year, and it's not being fixed.
Well, yeah, I mean, we talked about that in the first half of the Raiders game. Like, they're just refusing to fix what's broken. And the thing about it is like, this game kind of solidifies that. Like, you can say the sky's not falling every time the Chiefs lost the first 3 games. We'll look for reasons why. Well, they just had a bad
Right.
day, or Kadarius Toney dropped the ball here, or who MVS dropped the ball there. But I mean, honestly, this game just showed you they're not as good as you think they are. They're really not.
No, the Chiefs, look, the offense needs help. Mahomes just can't do it by himself. If he hasn't proved that right now, as good as Mahomes is, I'm sorry, but one guy cannot beat 11. Football is the ultimate team game.
Right.
And all offseason, when everybody's like, Patrick can throw to the water boy. No, he can't.
Well, Patrick can create. He can get more time in the pocket. He can run in his circles, and he can, create plays, kind of like he did on that third down. But it is dependent on the receivers continuing to run the play and knowing where to go and how to get open and be in Mahomes' vision. And these guys have no idea how to do any of that.
Receivers have to be available. They got to catch the ball when they are available. Look, I don't know. I just don't know. Something's going to have to click. They've got to click.
100%. Brian Parrott with a truth bomb. Denial doesn't work in week 14. Quit looking for scapegoats. Right. Quit denying it. Quit thinking it's a bad week.
This is week 14. We are who we thought we were.
We are exactly who we said we were going to be.
We Dennis Greened. We are who we thought we were. We're a team that's got a pretty solid defense that, by the way, is having to carry so much weight, they're falling apart. They're killing themselves out there.
Mm-hmm.
They're beating themselves to death to keep us in games, and this offense isn't holding their weight.
And now you're seeing what's happening.
And what's Andy and them going to do? They're going to get on the mic, and we got to do better. We're going to go back to the drum, but we're going to do better. We got to be better. Oh, we know. You had to be better after week 2, bro. But they're not doing it. They're not doing it. So, look, I don't know. This feels like one of these I don't want to be the doom and gloomer, but I think we get in the playoffs. I don't think there's a way. I feel like we get to the playoffs, but I don't know if this team's got the magic that can pull it out. You know what I'm saying? Like
I've yet to see that. I've yet to see that this year. They don't have that. They don't have what they normally have. They just don't. But we appreciate you guys hanging out with us after a tough loss. It's annoying, and I know that we like to rant, and you might find that annoying. But either way, appreciate you hanging out. Hit that like button if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel, hit the sub button. Hang out with us more often. We do pregame, postgame lives. We do a lot more, a lot of other content as well. So hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you guys. Also, if you'd like to make a donation to the channel while YouTube has their heads up their asses, feel free to check out the chat for Nightbot, and he'll tell you how to use Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, and things like that. Also, patreon.com/allchiefedup. $10 a month. You get bonus episodes weekly over there, and that helps support the channel. One more thing, merch.allchiefedup.com.
Right.
Merch.allchiefedup.com. Everything's on sale, 20% off until the beginning of the year with the promo code ACU Holiday. So go snag you some merchandise, especially this one, because you need to get it quick.
For
the
sure.
Merry Chiefsmas. I don't know how merry it's going to be if they keep sucking, though.
Right. Let's take a look at the schedule. Let's take a look at the schedule really quick. I want to look at the schedule all the way out for the Chiefs here and see what we got. Let's talk about this for just a few minutes. Let's see. I'm so glad that we don't have any more primetime games. I'm tired of the Chiefs getting primetime games and absolutely sucking ass.
They embarrass you as a Chiefs fan every time they're on primetime.
Dude, primetime versus Detroit sucks.
They make you have to go to work, and people that don't even watch football make fun of you.
Primetime versus the Jets look like complete trash, almost get beat. Like, come on. I'm surprised we won the game in Germany because I guess it was early. It was the opposite of primetime. It was ass crack of dawn.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so what do we got left? We got Green Bay. We just lost to Green Bay. Okay, so Buffalo. Good Lord. I'm not looking forward to that one.
Nope.
Look, Patrick Mahomes don't often lose 2 in a row. He don't often lose 2 in a row. I think he's only done it once or twice in his entire career. Hopefully, look, if we can beat Buffalo, though, you get back on, you start feeling better. But again, New England, the Raiders is probably a toss-up. I don't think the Raiders are as bad as we think they are. And they thought they were going to go out and beat us last game. Like, they've been talking trash, saying that they lost the game and it wasn't the
They're
Chiefs.
still a better
team.
Better. Yeah.
They're insane.
Are they?
But look, the Chargers. The Chargers going to L.A. on January 7th to wrap up the season. The Chargers are going to play out their minds, and they'll probably end up beating us because they always do that stupid crap. The Chargers always play like it's the last game of their lives. The Bengals, you would think we beat the Bengals, but good Lord, after this one. So
I'm with Lil Pop. in the chat here. I think the Pats should be a free game at least. But if anybody can find a way to lose to the Pats, it will be the Chiefs this season.
So we got 5 more. Steve, any thoughts? What do you think we do in those 5?
I think they're losing 2 more at least.
So you think we go 3-2, which will bring us to 11-6?
That's what I'm guessing. I'd love to see them actually win those games, but I have no faith left this year. I've been so optimistic. I've been so positive. Like maybe they turn the corner finally. We're going to see more of what the Chiefs normally look like after that Raiders game.
Right.
I don't have much left in me. Like this team has given me no reason to think that they're going to do anything special.
I don't think this team. I feel like this team. There's a few guys that have it, and there's a lot of them I feel like are very content on their past accomplishments.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they have the fire and the want to go out there and win games like they did. I don't think they have the fire and the grind to go get another Super Bowl. They're not showing it, in my opinion. They're not showing it, especially the offense. They're just not showing it. The coaching staff, I don't know if they've given up, or I don't know if they can just not get through to these guys. But they're just not putting these guys in the right spot. They're not getting them. They're just not doing lots of things right. And maybe they just don't have the talent to do it. And if that's the case, that's on them and Brett Veach. Like, I don't know how many times. Look, it's on yourselves. You just got to do some self-reflection.
I think they showed a lot of arrogance by refusing to acknowledge this.
Yes.
Brett Veach.
They listened to the fans too much.
I love Brett Veach. I think he's a great GM, possibly the best one in football. He's made some great moves, and he's made some bad ones, but I mean, that happens. But I will tell you this. There's one thing about Brett Veach that I will stand on. He thinks his shit don't stink. And he absolutely thinks that he's right about everything.
Well, we're smelling it.
He was very stubborn. He was very arrogant by refusing to get Patrick Mahomes a wide receiver. And this is what we got now. We're reaping the benefits of that right now. So I hope you guys enjoy watching this terrible offense.
Hey, Kenneth Caldwell says we do have a Monday game on Christmas Day. Steve, how confident are you that the Chiefs are not going to ruin your Christmas?
Man, I tell you what, if the Chiefs ruin my Christmas, I'm gonna.
Are you gonna Grinch?
I'm gonna Grinch them.
You may turn.
I will dress up as the Grinch. I will go to Kansas City and I will harass everyone.
Steve will be running through Kansas City in a Grinch outfit.
Don't ruin my Christmas, Chiefs.
Dude, will you go steal everyone's, like, all public displays of Christmas? You got to run through and, like, steal them and, like, put them in your bag and just run down.
I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna take all the Chiefs memorabilia.
What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. I'm gonna take it up to my house on the mountain or whatever.
Give it to Cole. They'll give it away.
Yeah, we'll give it a Chiefs bids. We'll auction it off and make someone rich.
Chiefs bids.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm for
we
it.
were supposed to have a rebuilding year last year. Ray says it.
Yeah.
The rebuilding year that was supposed. Hey,
they don't know what that looks like. We don't know what that looks like. What's rebuilding?
They found
this is what a rebuilding year looks like. Brett Veach says with his.
Do you think the rebuilding year though? Do you think they took a So look, the rebuild was obviously it was obviously towards the defense, and you've seen that the defense gelled, and we won a Super Bowl, and then this year they come out and looked way ahead of schedule. So I thought this year, do you think the rebuild he had to say, look, you do have to rebuild in some spots. So he chose wide receiver, banking on Mahomes being able to do it because he listened to the fans. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he should have. I think he would have been better off maybe allowing, I don't know, maybe you should have allowed Wanye to play left tackle and saved a little bit of money on, Donovan Smith.
I honestly,
much.
You mean Jawan Taylor? Yeah, Jawan Taylor should not have been paid.
Jawan Taylor. And maybe you could have paid a wide receiver and got a little less expensive right tackle there.
That's 100% correct. That was the worst signing, and it was the first thing he did before free agency even started.
He did it before they
shot
even
himself
free
in the
agency.
foot right from the beginning, and then goes out and freaks out and gets a old left tackle we knew was going to be injured and hold a lot. And I don't think there's that much of a drop off from him to Wanye, if there is one at all. I'm going to be honest. I think Wanye actually plays pretty admirably over there on the left tackle spot to be a rookie.
He didn't look bad. He got beat on that one play.
He didn't.
Honestly,
that wasn't on him. That wasn't even on him. If you go back and watch it, it just wasn't. I think he's playing pretty good. So it is what it is. But yeah, Smith's old and not great. They shouldn't have paid Jawan Taylor $80 million. That's wild. Absolutely wild that they did that.
Yeah, and I think paying MVS 2 years ago, all that money was.
I think dragging your feet on Chris Jones and being cheap with Chris Jones was a mistake. I think if it wasn't for that, you would have been able to get D-Hop. But, we had to be arrogant and act like we're the greatest thing ever. And Chris Jones, even though you're the best defensive tackle in football, we're going to give you the runaround. Dude, I'm telling you, this all adds up from way back in the offseason. This is from the top down. I know the players didn't perform, and you can't make the players play any better than they do. But
Right.
I tell you, it starts from somewhere. It starts from Brett Veach's lack of execution in the offseason or his lack of caring about certain positions like wide receiver. And then it starts with Andy, who didn't speak up and say, hey, Brett, get me a freaking weapon. And then from there, I'm going to keep playing these turds over and over again, no matter how bad they are. It's like it just keeps going. And then Mahomes, I'm not saying Mahomes, I think Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the league, but he's not looked like it at all. I mean, you got people like Dak Prescott out there performing them into the dirt. Why is that? Because he has people to throw the ball to.
Oh, look, that was kind of what I was trying to say, though. Brett Veach took an estimated guess and said, look, I can cheap out on wide receiver. I'll fix the offensive line with, a 1 year stop with Donovan Smith and pay him $9 million, which wasn't a horrible contract, but it was still just, you could tell that was last ditch effort. They missed what they were wanting to do. They did overpay Jawan Taylor. I don't care what anybody says, $80 million is a little too much for a right tackle, especially one that leads the league now in every penalty in the world. But I'll say this. He set it up badly by paying MVS too much the year before.
Yep.
In the offseason. And then overpaying Jawan Taylor. Look, I think he missed there. I think he whiffed. I didn't look, but he listened to the fans. The fans said Patrick Mahomes can make anybody good. And the fans also said Wiley stinks and OBJ stinks, although we won a Super Bowl with them.
Right.
So look, you didn't have to have top quality offensive linemen left and right bookends. You didn't have to have. You just had to have serviceable mediocre. But now you've got what you could possibly say is high-end bookend tackles that you're paying at least. And now you got mediocre wide receivers, and look what's happening. Big difference here. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe they estimated this a little wrong. I think they looked at it a little wrong.
Now, here's the thing. Can they correct it? You can't go out and you can't get different wide receivers. You got what you got. You made your own bed. You're laying in it, and God, you're laying in it right now. So what are you going to do? Make a decision. And I think it goes back to this, Mike. I think Andy Reid has to take a good hard look in the mirror and be like, what am I going to change? Because it's up to him. I feel like he don't have control of his team like he normally does. I feel like there's some things that he's got to change. Whatever it is, they need to do it soon because we are 14 weeks into the season and we should be playing peak football in the next few weeks. And we look like garbage.
Right. You can't say, look, we're going into week 15 and you cannot be saying, well, we're right there. We just got to figure it out. Look, guys, if you haven't figured it out by now, it ain't happening. That just means you got a problem. And I think you have to be, that's why I just don't want to, that's why at this point, I'm tired of always, finding a reason why you can say, well, the refs made it bad in this. I get that there's bad calls. I get it, man. But we're in week 15 and this team is not playing with any fire, any passion. Yeah. They don't deserve to win. So I'm tired of giving them the out.
I'm going to say this one more time. I was saying two things can be true. I'm not saying the refs are why the Chiefs lost the game, but yeah, they could be why the Chiefs lost the game. Like the Chiefs suck. Let's get that straight. They're not good right now. Are they the worst team in football? No. Are they a shell of what they have been? Yes. They're not good. They have a lot of work to do. But at the same time, the refs absolutely bent them over and left the Vaseline at home tonight.
Okay. But
100%.
We still stink.
Yeah, I get it. But both can be true, man. That's all I'm saying.
I get it, man. But I just don't. I just get tired of blaming outside problems when look, it's different.
I'm not blaming it. I'm just saying that was obvious, right?
But look, if the Chiefs come out and they don't do anything stupid, they're not having bad red zone, bad play calling here and there. The receivers are showing up and we look good. And then all of a sudden the officials start screwing us. I get it. But at the same time, it's one of those where it's like, my God, dude.
Well, this is my point, man. Like, I understand the Chiefs are not good. They're not good right now. I'm agreeing with you on that. And they're not. They lost this game because they didn't play well. But just like Richie says, momentum's huge, and the refs kill it over and over again for the Chiefs.
Every time we get some
momentum, getting to the red zone, they called the BS penalty on Kelsey. That was not OPI. They called the hold on Creed. That was not a hold. I don't even know how they tried to say it was a hold.
But they do this every year. They did this last year. How many times did they call Creed Humphrey for being ineligible downfield every time we'd score?
I get it.
They knocked out the
we are not we're not a team that can overcome that now like we were last year.
Exactly. Right. Which means we're just not a good team because the officials haven't changed. They've always did this to us. But now
Oh,
we're not good
really?
enough to overcome it.
I thought they always helped the Chiefs. Didn't everybody see them helping the Chiefs tonight? Did everybody see
That's
that?
what I'm saying, man.
Wow, man.
That's always going to be the thing. And if the Chiefs would have won that game, if they would have called defensive pass interference like they should have, and we'd have put that in the end zone and then converted the 2 and won that in overtime, the only thing you'd have seen tomorrow is the Chiefs got away with the Rashee Rice defensive pass interference on Rashee Rice. By the way, they held Rashee Rice's arm right there. That was the right call.
Right. Well, I'm just gonna say this. I'm not the biggest conspiracy theorist in the world, but I do think that sports betting has hurt the game so bad to a point to where I think what you saw tonight was that 99% of the world bet on the Chiefs to be over the 7.5, and the rest did everything they could to keep it as close as they could, and it cost the Chiefs the game.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm not saying that they don't influence things.
Absolutely, they do. I mean, I'm almost 100% convinced at this point.
Look, you don't think that, like, because you say the officials just didn't want the Chiefs to win, flat out. But
no. I don't know if it was that, but I think I really do think the way that this played out, I think they knew the Chiefs were the better team. It's on prime time. They got to make a spectacle out of it. They knew the Chiefs were a 7.5 favorite. So guess what? While the Packers are playing good, look, the Packers are playing pretty good. They got the ball in the end zone twice.
Right
off the beginning. Well, what can we do to make this more of a close game? Let's stifle a couple of drives for the Chiefs while in the red zone and make it, take some time off the clock before they can try to come back. And it's just, it just adds up, bro. It just adds up.
I get it. But if they really wanted the Chiefs to have lost, don't you think they wouldn't have overturned the Rashee Rice fumble?
No, that
was pretty close.
That was way out. That was not close.
Well, it was obvious, but they ruled it on the field fumble.
They always do that now, which is smart. I do like that they do that now.
It is, but you could have come back. You could have said that his butt was on something, and they didn't have enough to overturn it.
Mike, that would have been.
You could have.
That would have been just as or more egregious than the MVS call.
That's my point. If you're fine with saying every official on that field missed MVS getting completely molested the entire play and tackled 6 yards before the ball got there, you could have said, well, we went to the booth and there wasn't enough to overturn that call. That's all I'm trying to say. That would have been a little more believable than that, to be honest.
So I tell you the biggest problem that we're having as an offense, too, besides the obvious stuff. Third down offense, we don't have it. And Travis Kelce is a non-factor on third down now. And that used to be our thing,
Yeah, Kelsey's just not been able to get open, man.
I mean, Kelce, statistically, he's having just as good a year as usual and all that, right? But he's not. He's really not. He's not dominant. He's not as effective. And a lot of things are adding up here. Like everything that we've talked about that made the Chiefs not as good as they have been, it's also given a lot of confidence to other teams who play the Chiefs.
Yes.
The Chiefs are not feared anymore. They know they can go out and smack them in the mouth.
Yep, that's it.
And they don't have, there's nothing there anymore. The years of people fearing the Chiefs and the Chiefs offense, it's over.
Right.
100% over.
Yeah, the Chiefs aren't the like you said, they're just not to be feared. Nobody fears their offense. Their offense can't score and everybody knows it. Their defense now, they're finding ways to beat us. You can beat us by running. Didn't I say that I wanted us to get better
That's
at running?
always been the recipe,
but look,
right?
I said I wanted the Chiefs to get better at running the ball or stopping the run. And we all knew this is what the Packers were going to do, and we just weren't ready for it from the get-go, man.
Yep.
So I don't know, man.
It is what it is. A very, very bad loss. This team is not where they need to be in Week 14. End of story.
Hey, Dean asked, should we sign Ertz? Now, here's my thing. I don't think Ertz is enough factor that's going to help what we're going through right now. And honestly, I don't know if Ertz is even better than Noah Gray.
That's the thing. That's what I was going to say. I think Noah Gray could be a good weapon for us right now, and we've seen it. He scored a touchdown tonight.
I think they need to use Noah Gray more.
They won't do it. Just the same way they won't use Rashee Rice more.
The
same way they won't
settle in to more 12 personnel, double tight end, let Noah Gray and Kelce play more together. And I think that they need to run 2 wide, and the 2 wide out of the 12 personnel is 3 wide. But anyway, the point is I really do. I think you need to start getting MVS off the field. If you want to play Justin Watson in that role over MVS, I'm fine with it. I don't think Justin Watson's anything that great, but I would prefer him over MVS at this point.
I'd prefer anybody over MVS. I'd prefer you over MVS.
So look, let Sky Moore now exit the field. Look, they're not going to use him, and he squanders every opportunity he gets, so forget him. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it. Get him off. Put Richie James out there and let's see what he can do. If he can't do it, let Kadarius Toney work the slot. But look, you're just going to have to start doing different things. You can't just be settling on, same old, same old. It's just not clicking, man.
Agreed. Well, here's the thing. Just kind of wrap this up and put a bow on it. Terrible night. Team don't look as good as they should in week 14 and all that. All that being said, there's a lot of work to do. Something's got to change. This team's way too vulnerable right now. I also don't feel like the team chemistry is that great. Like maybe that could be part of it. There's a lot going on there that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, do you feel like there's not as many team leaders stepping up and like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
It seems a little stale just in general.
Like on the sideline, you don't see people running around being like, get fired up, let's go, let's do stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just
I
not
see a lot of
it.
I see a lot of Kelsey standing there now and not
Kelsey
looking
stands.
like he cares.
Mahomes just sits there looking at his tablet.
Or just staring into space.
Right. He stares into space a lot. He's just out
strange.
of it. And then I feel like Chris Jones has already figured out that he's gone. Like he acts like he don't even I think he knows he's not going to be here next year. Does he act like that sometimes?
I don't know. I think he try to take over a leadership role a little bit more than usual this year. Sometimes I see him putting in a lot of effort and saying a lot to the young guys. So I don't know
it at certain times, but I'm just saying, like, do you think that he knows that they're just not going to pay him? I think he just knows the Chiefs are cheap and they're not going to pay him. He's going to be somewhere else.
I don't think
he wants to be. I think he really wants to be a Chief his career, but they're not going to make it happen.
With all that being said, Mike, though, like all that being said, and I mean, whether you like it or not as a fan, if you don't like what we're saying, I'm sorry, it's just true. The Chiefs are a shell of their former selves. They have a lot of work to do. But with all that being said, man, I still think with the nucleus of the Chiefs, with Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Chris Jones, the Chiefs can still be right there in the mix of it, right in the thick of it, come Super Bowl time. They could be, but they have some things to clean up. End of story.
Right. Yeah.
They also
%1,000%.
could get bounced in their first playoff game.
Yeah. I think
by
right
playing
now,
like crap and getting penalties and
I don't see it. Look, we're not even seeing that this year. Of like the Chiefs go down and they come back last week. Okay, they were down 14-0 quick, could have been 17-0, and they come back. But look, they couldn't make the comeback tonight. They never was down that much. What was it, 14-3, and they couldn't get it. Like they just don't have the firepower anymore, and I don't think they have the drive. And
no. See, that's another thing.
With
this Chiefs offense, it's totally different. And in the past, Chiefs teams could strike and score in 15 seconds, 80 yards. Now, when they get the ball, you're like, maybe we can grind it up the field with Pacheco and get a shot at scoring a touchdown, maybe get a field goal. It's totally different. It's not the same. Like, I have no faith in this team scoring on a last-minute drive like tonight. Like, you just don't feel like they're explosive enough to do it.
No.
And how do you normally do that? And how do smart quarterbacks do that? Tom Brady, his whole career. Aaron Rodgers has done it. You take those shots down the field, you get the interference call, and you get chunk plays. Patrick Mahomes did exactly what he was supposed to do on that last drive and got absolutely shafted.
Yeah.
It's just that's
how
true.
It is. He should have got a call. He should have got a call.
Well, here's my thing. And here's another thing. And yeah, y'all can call me crazy if you want. But I actually think that when something like that happens, why do we have to, like, why does everyone have to just eat it? Like, Andy Reid should be in the middle of the field, butt naked, throwing a hissy fit. The players should just walk off the field. Like, quit letting yourselves get screwed. Do something about it. Like, everyone knows that was pass interference. Everyone, God and everybody,
do you remember?
Knows that was pass interference. Why be like, okay, cool, thanks for screwing us. Let's go to the next play.
For the Chiefs get all the calls crowd. Do you remember the 1 year where you were allowed to go to the
the one where we won the Super Bowl?
Pass interference. And it worked in our favor because they couldn't screw us like this.
Right.
If that play could have been challenged tonight, there's no way they could have come back and said that wasn't. So look, you're taking a play that is completely 1,000% a toss-up judgment call by an officiating crew. That, by the way, 90% of America thinks that you suck and that you're working for Vegas, and they take that out of the game. But when you had it in the game, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl because you weren't allowed to do that to us. And this is the reason why they put it back in.
Well,
because this is what they can control.
I think people kind of quit worrying about dumb stuff like fines and things like that. Because I'll tell you right now, if I was Andy Reid and I was in that last drive of the game and they did not call that on MVS,
I think I would have lost it.
I would have pulled my team off the field and just left. I would have just been like, okay, you're not going to let us win, so why are we doing this? I'm not going through your motions. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to finish the game and let everyone forget about the BS. My team's leaving. We're done. Bye.
Well, look,
Why not? Why not?
Definitely post game. I think you have to come out and you.
Andy Reid won't say a word about it.
You got to rail him.
He better.
Everybody has.
I love Big Red, but he's gonna have to grow some balls tonight.
What if
he's probably already talked, Mike? He better be out there.
Does MVS? If MVS comes out and just takes 50, look, he needs to be fined his entire salary this year. He complains over this so much because he hasn't earned it. So let's go ahead and give it to the NFL. I hope he gets fined $11 million. He's so egregious today.
I just don't understand. Like I said, Mike, I'll never understand. Like I understand they have to be professional and it's their jobs and they get paid to do this and they can't do this and that. But you can. If I'm Andy Reid, I pull my team off the field there and I leave. Because when they refuse to call that on MVS and everyone, like I said,
yeah,
everyone knows. Everyone knows.
That was
just
a huge miss.
We're done. We're leaving.
And look, and if they say, well, that was a makeup call. We made the wrong call.
No, that's not how this works.
Yeah, that's not how it works. You're not you're not supposed to do that. That's not the way that works.
And I honestly think that Mahomes threw the ball down the field a couple more times after that, hoping he got the makeup call for that BS, and they would not do it. They refused to do it. So, I mean, it is what it is. I would have pulled my team off the field.
Or I mean,
they already embarrassed themselves by sucking.
The NFL's been so bad with officiating this year too. It's comical.
It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
And then today, did you watch any of the Eagles 49ers game when they threw out Dre Greenlaw?
Yeah.
Because the head of security for the Eagles got in his face.
They called penalties on Justin Watson for talking to somebody. They called penalties on Chris Jones and cost us a game last year for calling Matt Ryan old. But they don't want to call that in a critical part of the game. Pull your team off the field. Stop being I can't even say it on here. Like, just stop being so stupid. Be done with it. Why are we doing this? Why do they allow it to happen? I think all this is going to continue until teams make a stand and be like, hey, enough's enough.
I mean, I just don't think they can't. And I don't understand. Look, you can kind of put the tinfoil hat on. I get it. But the officiating and everybody that says that this is a entertainment, not, the NFL feeds into this by not holding your officials accountable, by not letting coaches even speak about a call or you fine them into the ground, by not going out there and actually having rules, committees. Dude, you got an entire network, the NFL network. You can't put up a whole, you should have a show per week where you bring officials on and let them explain their calls. Why don't you do that? That'd be kind of fun.
Or I'm with Chief Kelsey. Andy Reid could go to his press conference right after the game.
Yeah.
And look the camera straight in the eyes. Look at all the people straight in the eyes and be like, hey, did you all witness the NFL referees not allowing us to tie this game up?
Right.
Like, they refused. Everyone knows that was pass interference. They didn't call it intentionally. Roger Goodell, do something about your terrible officiating. This is BS. Grow some balls, Andy. Somebody's got to do it. I mean, it might as well be you. Or are they really going to argue that much with Andy? He's the GOAT. He's been around for a long time.
Dude, if Andy does that, if Andy does it right now, they will blackball the Chiefs into oblivion. They will give us thousands of more bad calls. Look, I'm just saying, this is what they think. And then I would guarantee you that Goodell and everybody, they run it like a mob boss. They'll probably keep him out of the Hall of Fame. There's so much, I'm telling you, the NFL's a shady company. I don't care what anybody says. They are. It is what it is.
Yeah, but I think they got to grow some balls. They got to get a backbone, because until teams actually, do something and at least speak up and not be complete poons about it, then this is what it is. So, I mean, they're going to continue to do it because they can. And the average football fan, I'll tell you, Mike, that the casuals, they'll just be like, well, you're just complaining about the referees. No, did you watch it? Yeah, probably not, but you're just complaining about the referees. The Chiefs just sucked. And I get that the Chiefs did suck, but there's times where this is
dude,
big
I say
things,
that tonight. I'm tired of I'm tired. I know there was bad calls, but you can go through every game and be like, look, they missed a call here.
These were egregious, though. These were bad,
I get it.
Bad.
I'm just saying, until the Chiefs get better and stop shooting themselves in the own foot and grow up and fix their own problems, you can't always just be blaming officials.
Agreed. But when the calls that were this egregious, you have to say something about. You can't ignore it.
Dude, that pass interference shot, that pass interference with MVS should have been called. There's no way around it. To miss that call now, if this was a court of law, you just set a precedent that that's not pass interference.
Everyone in their
What?
in the entire world, if they went to work and sucked that bad tomorrow, they're getting fired. Everybody except
Yeah.
for an NFL referee.
Oh,
It's wild.
yeah. They won't even have to answer to anybody.
No, they don't have to.
Imagine if you could go to your job and just suck.
I'm with
And-
Bucks Tech. Like, you
and
know
nobody
what's
can
bad?
tell you anything.
You know what's bad when Collinsworth was
Right.
even like, what in the hell
Dude,
is going on?
Even the
Yeah.
who was the official they always call on? It wasn't Dean Blandino. Who was it?
It was Gene Steratore, and he said,
Yeah,
the same
Gene
thing.
Steratore.
What in the hell? That was obvious, you know.
Well,
Like,
Steratore also said it was a bad call on Mahomes getting hit, which I'll kind of agree with that one. I understand
Yes and
Mahomes was
no.
giving himself up going out of bounds, but here's my
exactly.
thing.
And
There's
they're going
a
to call out on
certain thing.
anybody.
But look, there's a certain point, and I'm not saying that wasn't the right call or the wrong call. I'm just saying it's football. Do we have to baby everybody that much? Like, Mahomes is still fighting for a first down. Do they have to let him have it because he's going out of bounds? Like, it doesn't make that much sense to me.
Well, he already had the first down. He was
think
already. That's the
But
thing,
I
Mike.
think we
Have some
to let
awareness.
up on some of these stupid calls.
I agree with you, but at the same time, like, it was obvious that he already had the first down and he was giving himself up going out of bounds.
Yeah,
and that guy flew
agreed.
in
I
like
think
an
that's why they
idiot
called it.
and hit him, and that's why they should have called it. Like, you can get mad about it all you want, and you can say it's kind of ticky tacky, and it is. But at the same time, what are you doing if you're that defender?
No,
that was stupid.
I think the play should have been called as was. I think it was the correct call because Mahomes was giving himself up. He was going out of bounds.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, in general, I don't like the call as an NFL. Let's stop being pussies about everything.
I
How about
agree.
that?
I agree.
Let's play football.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's go to bed.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
go
tired of
try to get some rest after this crap, because you know what? I don't want to put any more of my energy into this Chiefs team that came out and gave me no energy tonight.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but they highly disappointed again. It's starting to become a thing, guys. That's
Yeah.
what's scary. It's starting to become a thing. 4 times this year, 4 times. And you know what's funny is a lot of their wins were lucky because they were playing the same way. So I mean, it just is what it is.
Mhm.
They've got to get some stuff turned around, and I'm begging Andy Reid, please, man, you got to grow some balls. You also got to do something. Got to look at your team and do something about it. You don't have control of it right now. You don't.
Look, everybody's saying at the post-game press conference, he come out and just said the same old, same old.
Of course.
That's all you're going to get, man. That's all you're going to get from them. We just got to hope they do better. To me, I feel like the fans. Well, there's a subset of fans that just want to, hum-ho around. Well, it's okay to be bad every once in a while. Those the people that have never played the sport. Okay, people that expect excellence and demand you to play your best every time you get on the field. Those are the winners in life, not the crybabies. Everybody hand me a ribbon trophy for showing up. Let's hope the Chiefs can nut up and figure this out. Because if not, we're all going to be sadly disappointed. Because I think Brett Veach has wasted a Patrick Mahomes prime year. It's slowly starting to look like it.
I have all the faith in the world in Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones. I have all the faith in the world this team can get it together, but they're not giving me any reason to think that's going to happen because we're 14 weeks in. We have the same problems we had in week 1, and no one's doing anything different. We're doing the same thing over and over and over again. So,
Right.
I mean, it is what it is. Until they show me that they're willing to try to fix the problems that we have, I'm starting to lose a little bit of faith.
Yep.
And I don't want to do that. I think the Chiefs are still good enough to win a Super Bowl. I do. I think the team's still good enough. But God bless, man, they've got to start playing like it, because they do. Like tonight, they were not. Tonight, that team would never, ever win a Super Bowl.
Look, they got to sack up and come out and put one on the Bills.
They show some fire. And,
that's
like,
what you got to do.
They're looking too flat. I feel like there's no team chemistry. There's no desire to win. It almost seems like it's just like they're running through the motions, man. And that's the disservice to everyone that watches those games. All the fans that put all their time and energy into this, everybody, even their teammates. It's a disservice. Why are we going out there and doing this? The only one that plays with any kind of fire on that team is Isaiah Pacheco, and they leave him hanging,
dude,
every week.
I'm not saying he'll ever do that, but that's if you get to the point where Pacheco stops trying because he just don't see it, like, we're in trouble. So we should feed off this guy. Like, he's that energy boost, man, and they can't
they leave him hanging every week.
I know, it's annoying, dude.
He had a damn good game tonight.
Yeah, he was definitely MVP. He looked good.
Not even close.
Yeah. But I think it's going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for being here. Hit that like button on the way out. If you haven't hit that sub button, sub along. We're trying to get to 20K. we can all vent, we can all party when we win. You know, it's good times.
Right.
Again, patreon.com/allchiefedup. You can support the channel. Merch.allchiefedup.com. Grab yourself some All Chiefed Up merch. We're just in time for the holidays. Check our bio, or not our bio, but our description here. You can also go check out FOCO. We are now partnered with FOCO. You can check them out, buy some Christmas items, and we get a little tiny bit of kickback for being affiliated with them. And we appreciate them for reaching out to us, and we appreciate you guys for being here. Hit that like button on the way out. Steve, do you got anything left for them?
Yeah, for all you guys listening on Spotify, we appreciate you guys. Apple, whatever platform you're listening to the podcast on, appreciate you guys. Give us a good 5-star review and help spread the word. And of course, you guys here on YouTube, keep sharing the hell out of our stuff and helping us out. We're going to get to that 20K mark before the season's over. So keep doing what you do. We appreciate you guys a ton. And yeah, that's all I got. Other than that, it's like, let's pray that the Chiefs get their act together this week, man. That's all I got to say.
For real, man. You guys have a good night. Go Chiefs.
Yeah, go Chiefs.
There goes a sight from my soul.